Welcome back, guys, to Crazy Hobbies Down Under. And on this episode, we've got the good old Horizon hobby, the all-new Proboat, Miss GEICO Zelos 36 Twin Brushless Catamaran. Uh-oh! We thought we'd check the boat out, quick unboxing, give you guys a few tips before we take it out for a good old thrashing. Just some info on the boat. There is a real size version of it, the 1:1 scale, and upon some Google searching, it's actually sponsored by an American insurance company called GEICO, or GEICO. The Miss GEICO boat is one of the fastest offshore power boats in the world. It has twin turbine engines in them, reaching a top speed of just over 210 miles per hour. It has 5 consecutive world championships under its belt. So there's some info for you guys regarding the boat. So enough jibber jabber, let's unwrap it, see what you get inside, and go from there. Let's unpack Miss GEICO. Miss GEICO. Bloody box is bigger than me. Bloody hell. So let's open up Miss GEICO and see what's inside. Alrighty guys, so let's come to the battery compartment on the Miss GEICO 36. It's located in pretty much in the middle of the boat and goes all the way down. The battery compartment is designed to take up to 2 or 4 batteries. So the length on the battery compartment, it goes all the way down and it's about 30 centimeters long. And you've got straps on one side and you've got straps on the other side. Just regarding the batteries on the Miss GEICO 36 and RC boats in general, if you do run cheap Lipos and they've got a low C rating or a false C rating, you'll find that your batteries will get extremely hot and they'll puff. You'll use them a few times and then you've got to chuck them away. With the RC boats, they're under extreme load once they're in the water. So if you haven't got good batteries, your batteries will cop a beating. So the batteries that we'd recommend are the good old Gen Zelos, trusted brand here at Crazy Hobbies. We'd highly recommend them. This one here is a shorty pack, 5,000 milliamp, and it's a 50C. And these bad boys retail for about $100 each. Fits in there, no problem. If you wanted to grab a 22.2 volt, would recommend this one here, which is a 60C continuous, 120C burst. It's a 5,500 milliamp. And this battery is quite large. We'll be able to take 2 of these, not a problem. Now, you Gen Zelos lovers, your Lipos in the boat, if you buy a soft case, guys, you've got heat shrink around them, okay? Now, they're actually open on the sides and at the front. So if any water can actually creep in here and it can get into the cells, if you can seal that back up and that front with something, that would be awesome. So no water can get in there. And also try to tape up these balance leads, because if any water gets in here and starts corroding, you're in big trouble. All right. Just the actual plugs and the wiring on the Miss GEICO 36. Now guys, we don't like to blab on too much on this channel. We like to keep it short and sweet. But there's a few things we've got to explain here, so just be patient with us. Now, when you grab the boat out of the box, please read this label, okay? It's on there for a reason. Make sure you read it. Now, the way they've got this configured, right? That's hooked up to the ESC. The way they've got that configured, basically, they tell you in the book, it's on page 6. You can either run a 2S and a 2S, making it a 4S. So you're getting 4S power. This cable they put on there is a series cable. So it's going to double the voltage. So you can either put a 2S, making the boat run a 4S, or you can put a 3S and a 3S, making it a 6S, going to both ESCs. Now, if you do that, you're not going to get much runtime, I can tell you that now. And that's what the label will tell you on there, not to exceed 3S and 3S on the actual plugs. Now, the plugs, they're an IC5 connector, okay? Now, you can buy them separately from good old Spectrum. Now, this one here is the female side. Whoops, don't show that packet. All right, it's the part number there, and you get 2 females in there. So if you've got batteries at home and you want to use the same connectors, anti-spark, and then the male ones, just quickly, there you go there, 503 into the male one, so charged lead or whatever. We thought you let you know. The EC5s will work. All right, so if you've got EC5 plugs at home, which are these suckers, all right, boom, straight in. Now, out of the box, right, with them, and you run 2 3S's, you're only going to get, flick to page 6 on your book, right, you only get 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's with the included wire harness. Now, you want maximum speed, you can do 2 things here. Page 6 again, right, all right, you want 75 plus miles per hour. What you have to do is, you have to buy this cable, SPMXCA 506. It's optional, you got to grab 2 of them. So if you have 4 batteries, 11.1 volts, guys, when you run the batteries in this boat, they've got to be all exactly the same. So when you run the 2 2S's or the 2 3S's in the boat, they've got to be identical. You can't run one different brand and one different brand. If the C rating or if the milliamp's different, it's not going to be good. So always make sure whatever battery you've got, always run the same. Now, coming back to the top speed, sorry, got sidetracked there. You'll have to buy 2 of these. And if you've got 4 batteries, what you do is, once you receive the 2, you have to take this off. All right. So you've got your connectors are rocked up. You connect one here, and then you'll have 2 come out. So there's 2 batteries, whack them in there, and then the other one, boom, straight in here. If you don't wanna buy that connection, and you don't wanna buy 4 batteries, let's just say you've got a 22.2 volt at home, okay? Remove the connectors first, the adapters, all the adapters. All right, 122 here, whack, 122 here, all right? And then just turn it on. And that way, instead of running 4 batteries with the adapter, you can just run 122 straight to the ESC and 122 straight to the ESC. That way, you'll get maximum power out of the boat and you'll get really good runtime. Now let's come to the ESCs. Now, dual ESC, one here and one here. They're each 120 amp ESC, 2 to 6S compatible with forward and reverse. So let's come to the motor. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. The ESC and the motor are both water cooled. Now the cool thing about Proboat, when you buy it, guys, you don't really have to do any modifications to it or buy any aftermarket parts. So I'll just give you a sneak peek. So the water jacket on the actual boat, it's aluminium, and they seal it really well. All right, so that's standard. Some boats you buy, they'll give you like a rubber water jacket to fit over the motor. They sometimes leak. So this is alloy, and the motor is a 1900 kV 4-pole. All right, so the servo on the Miss GEICO 36 is the Spectrum S605, and it's a 9 kilo metal gear servo. The receiver on the Miss GEICO 36, it's a MR 4000 Spectrum, and it's a DSMR 4-channel receiver. With the receiver, guys, it's pretty much tied in. Now, the cool thing is, with this receiver you get on this boat, it's pretty much watertight. Now, if you can't really see, but what they've done is, just in here, they've filled it up with silicone, so no water can actually get into the receiver. Now, it's a pretty common problem. Proboat have started doing this, which is awesome. On some of the other boats, they haven't got the actual silicone inside the receiver. Now, you don't really have to do it on this one, but if you wanted to, just for extra caution, what we recommend is just getting a balloon, okay? Shoving the receiver, just opening it up, just unscrew this, unscrew the other one, that will come out. Just get a balloon, pop the receiver inside the balloon, and just cable tie it around here, not too tight. And what they'll do is they'll completely seal the receiver off, and no water will get inside. This one here is pretty much sealed, guys, so you don't really have to do it. But if you want to be extra safe, we'd highly recommend doing it. Any water gets in this, now being it, if salt water gets into your stuff anyway, but if fresh water gets in here, sometimes what can happen is the boat will glitch and it'll completely take off. So you want to make sure at all times this little receiver is clear of water. So let's just come to the Miss GEICO 36 hull. It is fiberglass, so making it really versatile and easy to repair if it gets damaged. Just regarding your aerial on the Miss GEICO, it's popped out from here. In the box, they will give you the antenna tube. Make sure you stick it in here and feed that all the way up in there. All right, so all the way up in there. If you've got a bit left over, just what we recommend is just feeding some back in the boat, and we don't want any of the receiver wire exposed on the outside. Boat maintenance on the Miss GEICO, we're going to try to make it as short and sweet as possible. We don't want to bore you guys too much. We will be releasing a video on RC boats and maintenance, so look out for that. So before we get dug in, 2 must-haves. These little open-end wrenches from good old Traxxas, okay, part number, we'll bring it up on the screen, 5761. These bad boys retail for around $35. These tools will make life so easy, getting the good old flexi shafts out and holding the collets. Dynamite marine grease with gun, part number DYN E4200. These bad boys retail for 40-50 bucks. You got the gun and the grease. You can also buy the grease separately. Another must have. Go to your book, page 10, maintenance. We're going to tell you quickly. Grab your wrench. Right. See that collet right there? And there's a collet right there. They're 10 mil wrenches. Hold one there, and then put one in there. And then what you want to do is, all right, hold it in place, grab your other one, and just loosen it off, okay? And then what will end up happening is, this piece, it will come straight out. It's your flexi shaft. It's gonna look like that. That's what it is. Doing. All right. Now, page 10, maintenance, it tells you to grease this after, don't exceed more than 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, you need to take this bugger out. You need to wash it with fresh water, all right? Dry it off. Grab your bloody grease, right? And then put on the gun or just dip it all in, all the way. What we need you to do is grab the actual gun. Once you get this out, right, stick the gun in there, pump it about 3-4 times. Get the shaft, stick it straight back in. Now, very important, and they tell you to do it. If there's a bit of grease on the tip, what you need to do is completely dry it off once it's in there, okay? And then shove it in. Tighten it up. Now, before you tighten it up, or when you're tightening it up, you'll see here, I don't know if you can see, zoom up. Look at this. I'm making the bloody boat shake. Now, there's a bit of play in there. There's about anywhere between 2 to 3 mil play. So when you go to nip it up, tighten it up, but make sure there's a little bit of play forward and back. So what it says is, why you have to leave the gap, okay? So maintenance page 10, number 4, it says carefully reinstall the drive shaft, ensuring that there is a 2.5 mil gap between the propeller and strut and the drive dog. This will allow space for the shaft as it shrinks under load. Without space, the drive dog could damage the aluminium propeller strut. Regarding motor maintenance, young Nathan has requested that I tell you this. Nathan will be in the future videos. He's our head mechanic here at Crazy Hobbies. Now, regarding your motor, if any water gets in the hull, guys, regardless of fresh water or salt water gets in your stuff, but that's a different story. Now, if any water gets in here, what we need you to do is, if you actually see there, the motor has got holes in it. So the copper wire is exposed inside. Get some Singer oil, right? What we need to do is dry it off with, if there's water in it, dry it off. Get some Singer oil, drop a dab on the front where the shaft is on the bearing, and just on the bottom there of the shaft where the bearing is as well, and just spin it with your hand, let the oil disperse in there. And then what we need you to do is get some marine CRC. Like I said, guys, this is only if water gets in, yeah? Spray it where the holes are, all right? And then just blast it with your air compressor. I do apologize if this video is taking a bit long. It is an expensive boat. We just want to make sure our viewers at home are educated. This little munchkin's talking my ear off. I do apologize. So, this boat, it's only really for fresh water. Guys, if you take it on salt water, you can pretty much say goodbye to your warranty. Now, I'm going to use that word pretty much. Regarding fresh water, just before we open the hull, if you wanted to, you can put some tape just around the top here. You don't have to, but if you do, you can pretty much guarantee yourself that no water will get inside the boat. So let's pop the lid off. Let's talk fresh water first. Fresh water, regardless, if you take it on fresh water, the flexi shafts in the boat must be cleaned after every run, okay? Grease them up, whack them back in. You take it in fresh water, you don't have to flush the lines out, so it's all right there. When you finish playing with it, in the fresh water, grab some marine CRC, all the moving parts on the boat. After you dry it off, spray it with some marine CRC, and they'll keep all the moving parts lubricated. Alrighty, so take it in salt water. Now, take it in salt water, a couple of things you got to do. Flexi shaft, wash it with fresh water first before you grease it. It's water cooled, so you've got to rinse the lines out with fresh water. Alrighty. If there's any salt water in the boat, you've got to rinse it with fresh water. You've got the drain plug in the back here. All right, so just take it off and you can drain the boat from the back by taking that off, tipping it upside down. Once you rinse it with fresh water, make sure, guys, you just rinse it off. Rinse it off and then dry it off really, really well. Then wash all the back here, all the moving parts with fresh water, okay? And then once again, the marine CRC, blast it.